Hi, BookTube, it's Amy. I'm back with the Anatomy of Bibliomania by Holbrook Jackson. Today we're reading from page 52, titled Pleasure, a Condition Both Profitable and Honest. As he that is invited to a feast eats what is set before him and looks for no other, enjoy then that thou hast at this banquet, and ask no more. For as much as it is sweet or pleasant for a man to read books and be recreated by them, it is also an evident truth that without both these sweetnesses or pleasures, or one of them at least, neither the felicity of books can be tasted, nor their goodness be received. For literature does not please by moralizing us. It moralizes us because it pleases. No profit grows where is no pleasure taken. In brief, sir, study what you most affect. Which is no more than the intention of Jeremy Collier, where he says that if books are well chosen, they neither dull the appetite nor strain the capacity, but on the contrary, they refresh the inclination and strengthen the power and improve under experiment. And which is best of all, they entertain and perfect at the same time, convey wisdom and knowledge through pleasure. Enjoyment is taste untrammeled. It is the only test of predilection for, as Dr. Johnson holds, no man is a hypocrite in his pleasures, and that even for general improvement a man should read whatever his immediate inclination prompts him to. For if we read without inclination, half the mind is employed in fixing the attention, and the only half left to be employed on what we read. Lubbock is therefore right when he maintains that we profit little by books which we do not enjoy. Therefore, I accept pleasure, suavity, jocundity, and other terms of the like import for one and the same thing in the rules of reading, as Epicureans do in their rules of life. The inference is exceedingly plain, for if a book is not pleasurable, it is unreadable, and thus defeats its aim, which, as I have said and will say again, is to be read. It is equally evident that this pleasure of books is widespread and diverse, for they not only delight us to the marrow, profoundly move or exalt us up to heaven, but they entertain the passing fancy, the light, the evanescent whim. So let everyone take the view or the book which pleases him and enjoy it. There have not wanted some, chiefly in times past, who with great pomp and ostentation have discoursed of these pleasurable qualities in life no less than in the arts, as if they were evil in themselves. I say such inferences are devoid of sense, as they are of charity and good taste. The soul of sweet delight can never be defiled. Wherefore, I assert, if reason's only function were to heighten our pleasure, that were vindication enough. These moral cavaliers, chadbands, spoil sports, impotent and resentful ones, whose chief profession is all pleasure to destroy, save what is in destroying, are at one with those dull and incompetent teachers, still existent in some measure, who have so misused books in churches, chapels, little Bethels, schools, colleges, seminaries, etc., as to make them unpalatable to the young, and so to promote book shyness in maturity as a common distemper, which it is still in all lands. Dibdin gives an extreme instance in that of a schoolmaster of Subia who for 51 years had superintended a large institution with old-fashioned severity, and in the course of his exertions had given 911 500 canings, 121 floggings, 209,000 custodes, 136,000 tips with the ruler, 10,200 boxes on the ear, and 22,700 tasks by heart. And in addition, he had made 700 boys stand on peas, 6,000 kneel on a sharp edge of wood, 5,000 wear the fool's cap, and 1,700 hold the rod. But I rove, I confess, and talk like a reformer, which I am not. The wisest man preaches no doctrines, he has no schemes, he sees no rafter, not even a cobweb against the heavens. It is clear sky, and I am not my brother's keeper. And if there were still less readers than there are, and books still less accessible, I should be content, for every true reader will work out his own salvation with taste and affection his best guides. What we most need is not more books or more readers, but more time for reading. Although I would not lay too much stress on that point, for in the last resort, we are all the sires of our opportunities. And non cuvius homini codigit edire Corinthium, which translates, I think the translation is going to be the text below us, translates to all have not the luck to visit Corinth. Desire carries more thither than otherwise would be possible, good luck being the ratio between what we get and the consistency with which we desire it. So to this defense of the pleasure of books, I shall bring no more support in this place than the high evidence of Wordsworth, who in his young days by Windermere read poetry with a friend, and gladness came upon them, both because they were lifted above the ground by the airy fancies, more bright than madness or the dreams of wine, and though fall off the objects of our love were false and in their splendor overwrought, yet was there surely then no vulgar power working within us, nothing less in truth than that most noble attribute of man, though yet untutored and inordinate, that wish for something loftier, more adorned than is the common aspect, daily garb of human life. What wonder then if sounds of exultation echoed through the groves, for images and sentiments and words and everything encountered or pursued in that delicious world of poesy kept holiday a never-ending show with music, incense, festival, and flowers. After such words, I am disposed to close this argument with Augustine Birrell, where he claims that literature exists to please, to lighten the burden of men's lives, to make them for a short while forget their sorrow and their sins, their silent hearths, their disappointed hopes, their grim futures, and, as he well adds, those men of letters are the best loved who have best performed literature's truest office. For as Keats insinuated for his own clan, they shall be accounted poet kings who simply tell the most heart-easing things. And that is the end of that section on pleasure, a condition both profitable and honest, where I think we come to the conclusion of let each person read or not read, and let those who read choose their own books.